How can they? Right here. Okay, you're right. Yeah, he's right here. Right. It has been 223 days and 5 hours since you had the website. But you're still exist. I mean, some people are longer. That's endless information. You know what? Email is probably your bill.may. Oh, that's the updated one. Oh, but yeah, the White House one. Whatever. So whatever is in our mess has moved over.
This is one we have.
So
I don't have that. I haven't taken that thing though.
but I don't understand why they're saying you're not anywhere.
I don't know.
You're right. You're right here, though. I mean, you're right here.
Trust me. I can't make this up. I'm not that smart. Did Jerry come tonight? When he comes, we'll ask him how frustrated he is.
Okay. Do you know? Do you have any idea what your login information needs to be?
Supposed to be okay. It's
Supposed to be your first initial.
Okay. Just B.
Well, it should be W probably. Yeah. W.
I doubt that. That's what I have to know.
Well, first, right? Because they set the passwords are the same. The usernames are the same for everyone. So they would have set it.
Last 5 digits, right? 2 6 3 6 5.
Maybe what your password might have been. Not a safe structure. And a password for the record. Let's try this. Okay, so the email, we know the email address we have to use.
It's always the same.
And it's your Bill.
Okay, B dot May.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Bill.
Right, Bill dot May.
802 at gmail.com.
So now they're going to email it to you. Now we're going to have to log in to your email. That'll log me out on my computer.
No.
No, just so you know.
Oh.
Okay, what's your email? Yeah, your email password.
B-I-L-L.
I won't remember it, I promise.
B-I-L-L.
Okay. I won't sit on my computer and breaking your email. Oh, I can't remember my name. Okay. Okay. Oh, here. So, you have new passwords. Someone possibly password. Well, I gotta get you logged in. Okay. So now I know we're good at this. So we're gonna go back to your email. Oh yeah, it's telling you that you signed in on a different computer.
And when he called there, he said, we've not even, it hasn't looked anywhere. Well, wait a minute, wait a number of times. Well, it's not anymore.
I don't know. And he just sent an email last night.
Yep.
Okay. What do you want your password to be now?
just a minute. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, yeah, it works. Good. Oh, testing. Sorry, I'm tardy. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. Well, would you all rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Wonderful. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to everyone that's in remote from home. And happy Back to the Future Day. We were going to try to do something special for that, but we just ran out of time. So I'm sorry we aren't doing any costumes. All right, so where are we today? It is, we now have a home. Jerry and I met tonight with our new sensei here at Owens, and we have been blessed with access going forward for a place to meet. Our discussions tonight were pretty unique, kind of got a lay of the land for here at Owens. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are going on, a lot of change, but in the interim, we're going to stay under the radar, and we've given them a potential schedule for next year, and we're going to park in this room in the interim until I can interface with Mark Briggs, who Jeff Orffel's been working with on the January class. We're going to solidify where exactly, if we're going to be able to stay in this room, or looking at their schedule going out, if we have to change to another room because of certain events, we'll do that and get our whole schedule for the year done, so everybody knows where we're going to be, at what date and what time. I did make up a list for 2016, and what I'll do is rather than reading the darn thing off, I'll email this out tomorrow so everybody can have a hands-on copy of when we'll be meeting, and until further notice, it'll be in this room unless otherwise notified by the college. Let's see. Okay, patches update. I got the confirmation of the shipment, which will be going out this Friday for another 100 of the HHS patches. So they should be in. I should have them next week. I have a sheet started with the names of people who have paid who have not received. And so if you want HHS patches, figure out how many you want. They're $2.50 each, plus $1 S&H, because I'm mailing them out from my home. And plus I'm paying the shipping and handling from Texas to my house. So $2.50 plus $1. If you want, figure out how many you want for blouses plus your jacket. If you have a field jacket, and let me know. Send me an email with your address. You can send me checks. You can pay me cash. But I did prepay this, so the sooner you guys reimburse me, the sooner my wife will get off my back about the money I'll spend on a team. We did send out an email with a graphic that shows the patch placement. So that is left shoulder. The Velcros, I sent an email out with a place where you can order. It was kind of expensive for the uniform side of the Velcro, 4x6ers. What I did is I purchased about 5 square yards of the receptor site Velcro. And what I was going to do is have my grandkids and whomever get around, and we'll just start cutting 4x6 pieces. So if anybody needs it or wants it, if you don't want to go procure your own, we've already bought a lot. So those will be available next month at the potluck, or I can send those in the mail too. So if you want it, let me know. If you're going to get your own, that's cool. Jerry and I were talking. I know Elizabeth was not happy with me when I said, hey, you know what, we're on call. I need some blouses and my jacket done with my new patches. And of course, by the time she got through the second blouse, her little potter's hands were already starting to curl. So I'm doing an experiment with the Velcro. So I've super glued Velcro on my jacket, one of my blouses. We're going to see how that works with the laundry. So there are some options there. They would like us to start going out the door with a new patching. So If you don't have it, let me know. I'll help you out. I'm trying to do everything I can do to accommodate you all, making sure that we're uniform straight when we go out. That being said, we probably need to reopen up ordering for the new T-shirts with the NDMS response team on the back, because we're now out of vogue with the OH-1 DMAT T-shirts on the back. So as you're working on your uniform budgets, be thinking about getting with Mary and getting either cotton or the poly T-shirts, because that is part of the new configuration for the uniforms. Let's see. Should we talk about okay, HQ? Nothing really has come down from the top as far as NDMS is concerned. Day-to-day operations, the budget. Although we have a budget for 2016 fiscal year, there really isn't any money been made available to us. So we have an operating budget only right now, which means we're maintenance of the team, readiness dollars, and there's money there in the event that for our months that we have to roster to cover our rostering, and that is going to probably continue through the end of this quarter. So they're not projecting us having any cash for training, et cetera, until Q1 of 2016. So we're just running mean and lean like we have been, and we're ahead of that curve. We're staying well within budget on a monthly basis. Kathy and I are policing that closely and monitoring and keeping everybody's hours and stuff down that we're submitting to stay underneath the budget so that nobody's raising any flags about us. You all know Dr. Garrett's gone now. We have had a change in NDMS HQ. I talked about that last month. There's been very little communication coming out from HQ since this transition started the first of the month. So we're going to have our first commander's call with the new hierarchy the last Wednesday of the month. So I'll give you a feel for what it sounds like when we get together next month. But the next thing I want to talk about is the January TEACS class, and we're set for here. Jeff did an outstanding job of pulling all this together. He sent out an email that had hotel information too, and registration. And so he wanted me to remind everybody, if you intend on going, then you need to register online. And also too, if you're foreseeing the use of a hotel, we have got a special rate, and we have a block of rooms for hotel. You can do double occupancy, but only run the room on one card. If two people are going to room together, one person take the lead on that charge, and you guys figure out how you want to split that up between you. But to save on the headache with the hotel, just have one person be lead for your hotel reservation and reimbursement. Understand that TEACS is just like us going to CDP or to Socorro. This is a non-NDMS function because we're using DHS, Department of Homeland Security, FEMA dollars to pay for it. So this is under grant. So those grant courses are not available to federal employees. So we're going just like we would go when we go to CDP or we go to Socorro. We're going as responders through our normal everyday endeavors, okay? Facilities, EMS, fire, law enforcement, whatever we do, just like when we go down and take our annual road trip together. So there'll be no USERA coverage. There's no reimbursement. There's nothing about it whatsoever that has anything to do with NDMS. So this is privately funded. There's no per diems. There's no reimbursement for meals, hotel, any of that. What we're taking advantage of is the fact that they're giving us all the course materials, and they're sending the instructor cadre from Texas here to present the program. So it is a 2-dayer. Jeff sent out the schedule, so you know the dates. What we're going to do too is, and Jared and I talked about this tonight. We have a bank account with some old 50 whatever monies. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap into that because it's been sitting there for a long time. We don't ever use it. It's not growing. It's not diminishing, and it's not regulated by the original um, covenant of the 503 or 501, whatever it was. So we're gonna partially fund lunch for the course on both days. We're gonna, so what I'm looking for is I need one or two people locally over here who will take charge of doing some recon and getting us some pricing and some ideas for lunch for the 2 days of the course. And we were kind of talking. Jeff and I were talking when I was driving over tonight, and we were thinking the possibility of doing pizza one day and calling upon um, one of our family members here in their business endeavor to see if they could potentially help us with generating pizzas for the day, and then maybe an Olive Garden for salads and a cold pasta salad, something like that on day two. I don't know. We can go a lot of different directions, but we need to get some ideas um, of what kind of costs we're looking at so that we can kind of budget this. It may be that we underwrite part of it and charge everybody $5 or $10, but provide two lunches for the 2 days we're here. Yes, sir. Okay. So what I need is either within here, and I'll send out an email. I need two folks. Really, honestly, Jeff is taking care of getting all the hotel stuff together. He's taking care of the course. He has worked in consort with the college here to get us some meeting space. Jared and I kind of sealed that deal tonight. But I'd like to get a couple people to take charge of the food component of this for the January course. So I'll send out an email. Think about it. I mean, it needs to be somebody that has access to the local area here and can kind of do some polling with the local restaurants and see what we can put together. Um, so anyone that would like to, please see me on the side. We can chat about it, and or respond by email, and we'll get that hooked up. We'll get that going because I think Jeff has done more than 5 people's work so far, and I'd like to lighten his burden up. Him and Lauren have really honestly ran with this program, this whole concept of the TEACs, getting the registration set up, the forms, and everything else that we need to do. So we just need to share the love a little bit because Lauren and Jeff really busted their butts for us. So, honestly, from my perspective, nothing has happened in Washington. Nothing really big to share there. Um, we have the class in January. We have solidified our relationship with the college. We have a home. We're not squatters any longer. Um, we have people that have rostered with several different teams this fall. Not only for we did have to backfill in October. We were pretty light, but we did have quite a few people step up and are backfilling other teams in November. So to everybody who has made themselves available for the October roster and those that are always stepping up for the other teams, big thank you. The code of conduct is sitting there online. Last I heard we were in the area of 50. I don't know how many more. 57. So we still have another 30 to go. 20, 26, 25. So if you haven't done the code of conduct, please jump online on Responder eLearn and get her done. That is a prerequisite to deploy. If again, everybody that rostered in October, we knocked out a big chunk of people off the team real quick. And for those that are rostered up in November, same thing. So if you haven't done it, try to get on. It's a quickie. It takes 15 minutes, and it's a one question test at the end. The answer is yes, and you're done. So, no other words coming down for other mandatory training at this point in time. PDB has been very quiet as far as training goes because they don't have any money to play with. Haven't seen the schedule for 2016 for CDP. So that should be forthcoming soon. So we'll see if we have the ability to, because they're talking about moving into a team, what's it called, a level, is it level 2? Or tier 2 training, where they're going to bring in whole teams. So I know that it was approved, and I know that they were advancing with getting those types of things scheduled, and then the money ran out, and not having any money currently into the end of this fourth quarter. I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but I know we are on the list for the tier 2 training. I just don't know where in that rotation we are because they have not published the new list. So as soon as I get that, I'll let you know so everybody can plan ahead, because it should be a 2016, 2017 schedule. So even if it's 12, 13 months out, we can plan in advance. And hopefully if we all still waking up on the green side at that time, then we can take the crew and go on another road trip. Anybody have any questions for me? Any talking points you'd like to bring to the group? Because this is really a light night. There just hasn't been a lot going on. We kind of busted it except for doing the rostering. I know Lauren will tell you a little bit more about the portal hopefully tonight, and so that's going to be the big learning curve, guys. It's going to be getting us away from responder eLearn and getting us over to the new NDMS portal. And I know this sends shudders and chills through everyone on this team, because it's going to be a learning curve for all of us, but it's going to be far more conducive for us to navigate it. It'll be much easier to access, and there'll be a lot more valuable information. It's going to be well partitioned so that you can get to certain things quickly and not have to look at what responder eLearn has become on our team community, which is really it's overwhelming with information. So you'll get a briefing from Lauren on that tonight. So if there are no questions for me, I shall turn this over to Kathy for the AO section, and then Kathy will turn it over to Lauren for the portal section. Then Lauren's going to turn it over to Gerald for the ops, and then I'm sure Mary Vance will have a few words regarding quartermaster issues with equipment and clothing, and then general comments, and we'll probably call this an early night tonight. So with that being said, I'll pass to Kathy, and then we'll just go through the order. So, Kat, it's yours.
Okay. Yep, it's working. Okay, so if anyone changes their address, their phone number, their email, let me know. There's a form online for addresses, bank information, same thing. Everybody needs to sign into their MyPay account once a month to make sure it is correct. Double check your information. I think I have all the addresses straightened out and updated except one right now. And that one is pending. So we currently have 81 people on our roster with one more pending resignation. If you don't have a current ID or a current credit travel card, let me know. Please double check your dates on all your stuff and make sure that it is current. Okay, travel cards. Do not call JPMC to activate the travel card. You just notify me that you get it, and I will take care of notifications. The new cards, as I told you last month, are going to have a chip in them, and you're going to get a PIN number. You forget the PIN number. You don't need to remember it. It doesn't apply to you. That is for cash advances only, and we are not privileged to have that. So all you need to know is you got a card with a chip, and it might work some places and might not work others, and just like before. So, let's see. Oh, and I strongly recommend for those who are rostered for this month or next month to please don't put food on your travel card. Put it on your personal card or pay cash. It just makes things a lot easier. I currently have 3 people on the team with credit balances, not debit balances, credit balances. Mr. Dibian still is owed $12, and Mr. Verbosky is still owed $10, and Dr. Barillo has a $1 credit. But hey, the credits are all right. So, they would rather see a 0. So let's strive to get a 0. Okay, IDs. I do have everybody's that expires through the end of the year already in my possession. If you don't have it, I do. I do need your old one. to get your new one. And remember, for 2016, our on-call months are March, June, September, and December. Is that right? Is it June or July? Okay. And when is the DNC? I think it's in July, so I don't think we're going to get the DNC or the RNC. They're just like a week apart. Yeah, it's in, the RNC's in Cleveland, and we don't get to go. Okay, so the roster has been, everything has been updated so far, and it's on the eLearn site. And remember, if you do get called out, that you are to copy me on all PAR, and we have new PAR cards to pass out. So throw out the old PAR cards that you keep with your ID. Pass those down. And this is, OPS is now called RAMS, which I totally forgot what it meant, but it's a management system for personnel. So OPS is now RAMS. So make sure that you get your PAR card and have the correct one with you. Anything else? I think that's it. All for me. Yay. Okay. Now we'll hear from Lauren.
Okay. With the new NDMS team portal, nothing for you guys to really worry about right now. It's going to take a couple months for us to get our portion of it up and running. We're looking right now at introing it to everyone in January at the team meeting. There's going to be sign-on issues, and we'll help navigate that for everyone who needs help. But it's going to be a completely different site. We're porting over everything we're using on eLearn right now. As far as your training goes on eLearn isn't going to disappear for quite some time. They will stop updating it and as we get the portal up and running, but nothing you need to worry about. Continue to use eLearn as you have. Once we get the new system up and running, it's going to be a lot more interactive and a lot more complete than what we've been using. So it'll be a good change. It's just going to take us a couple months to get all the content updated and moved around and organized. And our eLearn site right now, our team community on eLearn, is a little bit messy. You can see there's all kinds of stuff up there now. Chris has it on the screen. And we're going to try to simplify the website, the new one, and we'll kind of walk you guys through in January at the meeting where everything is and where you need to go to find resources. So just a preview of coming distractions. Don't forget to do the code of conduct, Kathy said.
I don't have anything. Alan wants me to make something up. Alan, why don't you go talk? Scotty doesn't have anything either. Well, you tell him that. Alan's got an announcement on at the Wings.
For those of you who did not see the email, I am hosting a fundraiser for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society a week from tonight at Buffalo Wild Wings in Perrysburg. Anytime between the hours of 5 and 9 p.m., showing up and getting this ticket in the hands of your server will get a donation of 15% of the food check value to leukemia and lymphoma. So let's pack the place.
Nice job, Alan. Richard, where you at? Mary, anything? Oh, Mary says get your shirt orders in. For Mary, the form hasn't changed. Cotton polys. What was it's on the website. And Mary gets a kickback of 20%. her name's on the list. Her name is listed. You are listed, young lady. Well, that's okay. We all know who you are. If we saw Taylor, we'd have an idea. Hey, there's 300 Taylors, but there's no. That's exactly right. Rick's got something else.
One, November is always a potluck. So we have to figure out if someone's going to step forward and volunteer a residence for a potluck or if we're going to have our potluck carry in here. So I reserved, we're on for this room for next month if we want to have our meeting here and have carry-in. Or I know Teresa Scrabble has offered up her residence in the past, and I know that's been a good time out there at the barn. So, I'll extend that to her too. But if we want to have the meeting here, this would be something to think about and shoot an email, and we can plan accordingly for next month, because generally November is not a business meeting month. It's a potluck social evening. So, I'd like to do that. Also, one of our family went east recently when the Pope Mobile was delivered to our shores, and that person is here tonight. So I thought we would let her kind of share her experiences with us of what it was like being involved in the supporting role for the papal visit. So Lisa, I put the spotlight on you. I'm putting the pressure on it, but she did not go under the guise of NDMS. This was a whole private, so I didn't make a big deal about it. Didn't share a lot about it, but Lisa was there live and in person. She sent me some pictures, which I didn't share because I didn't know if I was entitled to that or not. But it was, from what I could see, it was a great experience. So I'll let her tell you firsthand how it went. Lisa.
Okay, well, first of all, I have to say it was worse than a natural disaster. So try having all of your communications, your dispatch, your response, and your 911 on one channel. 5 hours to figure out that's not working, and then another 3 hours to figure out that you can't get to 8th and I think it was Maple. 12 trucks later, they figured out we were all staged in the same area where we got lost, because you can't get there from here because it was inside of concrete barriers. So we had 2 more channels added, separated by sectors and secure areas. By happenstance, I always ended up like right in his parade route. Either got lost and ended up there, or we were stationed there. So it was worse than a Hurricane Katrina. Staging area for bunking showers. We had 2 semi-trailers for 800 people. They told us food would be at the first aid buildings, and you go to the first aid building to get your food, and they say it's back at the convention center. You have to wait to eat it there. So you didn't eat all day until you made friends and somebody would share food with you. So it was, for a year of organization, it was probably the most unorganized event I've ever been to. Yes, it did. Went without a hitch. So there was a lot of lessons. I'm glad I told my partner to pack a lot of food, pack a lot of body wipes, and we made it through without any other hitches. We had a couple patient encounters, and that was only because I had met friends down in Anniston last time we were there. It's down a long hall. So he happened to be working one of the Pennsylvania tents. So there were about 30 ambulances lined up down this road in rows of two. And anytime a patient went out, they would just pick the next ALS unit. Well, we got to be picked every time when we got back. So we got a lot of dirty looks. But we got to stay busy. So. And we saw the Pope 3 times. And the Pope will be there. Mm-hmm. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they kicked us out of the convention center at midnight. That's when they demobed us. It was like at midnight. We got home at 1 in the afternoon the next day. Basically, they said, "Are you supposed to be here?" Yep. Okay. You get out of your truck, they knock on your panels, they look under your truck. They give you a badge with, well, we brought our own badges from our agency. Only has our first name and our credentials on it. That was good enough for them. So, seriously. Homeland Security was in charge of the event for the Pope. SWAT, there was a lot of SWAT, and a lot of feds. Yeah, they were so secret. Everything said Secret Service in huge letters all over them. All over them. It was. It was a learning experience. Oh, yes. Yes, I appreciated all the rough ones that we had.
Or a little round of applause. Here,
And serving in that capacity. We got the Pope in and out. Very cool. So, gosh, it's not even 4:08. We didn't have an educational thing set up for tonight. So, if there are no questions or any further discussion, I guess we can call this an early night. Thank everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for signing in at home. And keep those cards and letters coming regarding patches, because I'm going to have a crap load in my house next week. And looks like we got rid of about 20 of them tonight. So we've got 80 left to roll. So everybody be safe. Have a great weekend. And we'll be reaching out by email. So we'll be talking to y'all soon.